Welcome to Under the Onion Skin, the podcast to get closer to independent animation directors and get to know some behind the scenes of their short films. My name is Giulia, and each time I talk to a different director about a short film they made. With this podcast, I hope to be able to capture a glimpse of what I love mostly about festivals, to have something to listen to when we're back to our regular lives, but above all to celebrate beautiful films, talented artists and storytellers. Welcome to Under the Onion Skin. This episode is featuring Élodie Dermange, the Swiss animation director who made Armat, a short film about her family's Armenian origins. I had the chance to sit with Élodie and chat about Armat during Fantoche Festival 2023 in Baden, Switzerland. Originally, I bonded with Élodie over our passion for circus, and it was a pleasure to finally have the time to sit and chat about creative process and animation. In this episode, among other things, we talk about family, and painted frames, and recording interviews.
Yes.
So how are you?
A little bit tired about these 3 days, and yes, tired. It's good. It's a good tiring, but I feel maybe I might start to be a little bit sick. But I don't know.
It's a festival life.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
But it's not the first time you come here.
No, it's not the first time. But here there is something else. It's also like it's in my country with the people of my industry. So you also have to be always, always social, and you will always meet someone. So it's also different. If you go to another place, you meet people, but you don't know already a lot of people. So.
That's true. Yeah, but maybe it's less overwhelming in that sense, but you have to do some extra efforts to meet people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you manage to travel quite a lot with this film?
No.
No,
I didn't.
I thought because you said in other countries, I thought you went somewhere.
No, I went. Where did I went? I went only to Leipzig a year ago.
Okay.
Otherwise, the movie started like super slowly, so I didn't have the opportunity for a few months to travel with it. And after, suddenly, I won like 2 awards. And after that, the career of the movie started.
Yeah.
And suddenly, it was like super active. But I was already engaged in the next movie. And I really needed, because also I'm also doing circus a lot. So I'm sometimes travel for internship or classes for circus or other things. But so I was like already, I needed some time at my place, so I didn't follow the movie.
Yeah, it's hard. I think there is always this curve, like after a film you have some time to travel, and then if you already start the next film, then
it's too late.
Too late.
Yeah, we also waited a long time before to send it to like a lot of festivals because we wanted it to have a premiere in a huge one. So it took like maybe 7 months before I had a premiere.
Yeah.
So when you wait for 7 months,
you have to start something.
Yeah,
else.
you have to start something. And when it finally started, I was already into something else.
Yeah, but still it's traveling on its own now.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I also am happy. It's really nice, and usually, I mean, it's normal and it's good that the film has a life on its own at some point. And sure, it will be nice to be there, but it's also good that you move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's also good. Yeah. It was hard at some point because the movie wasn't working at all. I had the premiere in Leipzig. I had Solar, but it's Solar, and nothing. Leipzig was in October, and nothing until maybe March or something like that. So totally empty. And at some point, I wanted to tidy my desk because to start a new movie, you need, to remove to start fresh. So I decided to to throw away a lot of the celluloid of Armat. So I took some time to do it, and actually, like, I felt so depressed because the movie was not working, and I was watching all this celluloid, and I was like, that's a pity. It took so many years to make this movie, and no one see it. And yeah, I was like very, very sad. I cried so much.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard. I heard it from many directors, but I also know it for myself. It's true that even if you don't want, you put so much expectations into it. You work so long that you expect something, like some kind of result.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
And it's very hard to detach. But then it worked, like, finally.
For me, in my case, it's a happy ending story
Yes.
because finally it worked. But I've been through the process of, okay, I made a movie. I'm happy about it because I don't want to say that my movie is bad. It's not the case. I feel I'm happy of what I did, but it didn't find its audience, and it can happen. And this is a huge lesson, a huge life lesson. But it was very difficult to live. I blocked my back, and it was terrible.
But what's the life lesson? Is it about how random things are, or?
Random things happen because you can make a beautiful movie, but it's not the only thing that counts. Sometimes you have also other really talented artists that submit, and maybe them theme are more
Bad timing.
actual. Yeah, back timing. Other great movie, because this is the truth.
True. Yeah.
And I don't know, so many things, or maybe you didn't find the good audience, or maybe the movie come too late, or you don't know. But it can happen. It doesn't mean your movie is bad. But the big lesson was like, really, we need to enjoy when we are making the movie, because this is a big moment, and all the festival and the selection and the awards, it's
an
like
extra.
It's an extra,
Yeah.
totally.
I actually like this very much. I think
Yeah.
you put it in a nice way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
And,
part also of the job to make a movie, and it's not working.
Yeah. Or it will work later.
Oh, in my case, but I want to keep in mind
Yes,
that
it could not.
it could not, and
work.
it doesn't mean we have to stop or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like it can happen.
Yeah. And you said it took a long time. Like, how long did it take?
I started. Wait, I need to watch the time. When my movie has been out in S, I think it was in 19. So it means I started in 1918 with the idea.
Yes.
But after I had my graduation movie, so it was just an idea, but I worked for 3 months developing and thinking about it. And after I did Ines, so another movie, and after I came back into Armat. And it was difficult because I did in between another movie, and my state of mind changed, so complicated. So yeah, so from 1918 to 2019,
Yes.
and to 2021, something like that. 22.
Yeah.
So long.
I mean, yeah, it's often the case. And was it mostly you alone, or you had some?
I had some help. It was very cool. I developed and did everything alone, and for the paintings, I had some help.
Yeah.
And also in the beginning of the production, I asked a friend to come for 2 months, and she helped me to start the production.
That's nice.
And that helped a lot. Yeah.
And when you say painting, you mean coloring or animating or?
Coloring.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was on celluloid, so I did all the animation on paper.
Okay.
And the girls, they had to take the cell and do the line on one side of the cell, and on the other side the color.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was like thousands and thousands of paintings.
Yeah.
Alone, it's too long.
Yeah, I told you, you have so much material. You should do an exhibition.
I want. It's something that I really
You
want
will?
to do. Yeah,
Okay.
I will. Yeah, I'm looking for a place. It's complicated.
Where do you want to do this?
In Geneva, because I'm living there, but it's easier for me in a practical way. But
I think we should make it happen. It was really good. When I saw that picture, I think you posted a picture with you on the floor, like surrounded by all this. It's so much material.
So much.
What you create in this case, because it's also made on paper, that it's a waste. Almost feels like a waste not to do something else. Yeah.
And especially because at that time when I took that picture, I didn't had a lot of selection. I was like, what? I worked for maybe 4 or 5 years on a movie and no one will see it. Maybe it had 2 screenings. That's it. It's nothing. And I need to do something at least with this cell.
Yeah.
If the movie can't have his own life in cinema, maybe it can have it in an exhibition.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day. I'm working on it.
I'm a big supporter for that. Yes. And I was curious. I wanted to ask you about the approach, because it's a very documentary kind of film.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's different from a regular film. Sure, you write, but you have to rely on the stories you get, and you collect the recordings. And how did you approach that? Did you first have a draft in mind? Did you first record, and then after you created the storyboard? Or
I first worked for 2 months before. No, I did the first records in these 2 months. And first I was just like, okay, I want to do a movie about the Armenian side of my family that I don't know anything. And it was a big curiosity, but I didn't know where it will put me.
Yeah.
So
but you didn't know the story behind this
no.
wardrobe.
Yeah. So the only thing I could remember was this wardrobe. So I started with this. But at the beginning I was like, just okay, this is the only thing. I didn't play a lot with it. And I recorded my father, my uncle and my grand aunt. And it's after recording them, I was asking to them a lot of questions about my great grandfather.
Yes.
Who is the Armenian of the family. And yes, I asked them a lot of questions about that, but they kept they wanted really bad to talk about my grandfather. And I wasn't talking to my grandfather anymore. So I was like, why are you talking about it? I was over there to ask them about Armenia, and they continued to get there, yes. So I was, okay, it's like that. I will let them talk. Mm-hmm. And finally, I put it in the movie.
And those recordings that you said you made in the beginning with these 3 people were your father, your great aunt, and the uncle. Yes. Those are the recordings that then you end up using, or then you had to do a second round?
I did a second and a third round. What is funny is that some of them, like my father, each time he shares something different. Okay. So I was okay.
You didn't say this last time.
And I was, you didn't say that. And he was, no, I said that. So okay.
You have the recording.
So yeah, and my grand aunt, she said the same things. And yes, we did it to have a better sound, because at the beginning it was bad sounds. Mm-hmm. And for also they get used to be interviewed, so it's also better. Yeah.
I interviewed recently someone, maybe you know, Laura Gonçalves from Portugal.
Okay.
I interviewed her about the garbage man, and also in that interview the topic was about interviewing your family. Mm-hmm. And I think it's very specific, or it's a special situation, because of course they have your trust and you have their trust. Mm-hmm. But also, it is quite difficult. You have to be sure that, in general with documentary, but even more with your family, that it's okay what you're about to say. and that they are happy with the result, etc. So did you, I don't know if during the process or after when the film was done, did you get some feedback for your family? How was it for them?
At the end of the movie, like I did the mix and everything. My grand aunt suddenly she called me and she said, "Oh, I want you to remove this phrase," because she didn't watch the movie, so she remembers that she said that.
Without watching.
Yeah, without watching it. And I was like, "Oh no,
It's too late.
Oh no, it's too late." And she was like, "No, you need to remove it." And it stressed me so much. And I decided to. I said yes, and actually I kept it because it was too late, and also because without this phrase, it didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And yes, so I kept it, and she watched the movie in Paris 2 weeks ago, and she called me after that, and she didn't talk to me about it. So maybe in the whole story, she was afraid that it will be not good interpreted by the people, the audience, or maybe by some family members.
Yeah.
But actually, in the total movie, it's okay.
Okay.
I think you don't notice that she says something that can have a mean interpretation. Actually,
Yeah.
it wasn't mean, but
Can I ask you what sentence was it?
she was saying like that with her father it was okay, they loved each other, but the problem was with my grandfather.
Yeah.
And it was just the phrase, the problem is with your grandfather.
But I mean, they all in the film there is the character is depicted somehow in a negative way, because that was
Yeah.
I mean the character at least is has these mood swings, etc. So yeah, that was part of the story somehow.
Yes, and she also tell me with the microphone like some terrible moments in them life where he did some terrible things to his kids and stuff like that. So it's very surprising that she told me that, and she even told me in the recording, you need to know and you need to keep this material for you.
Okay.
But she didn't say like don't put it in the movie, but she told me that with the microphone,
Yes.
not without it, like with it. And it was funny. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is going on in people's head.
Yeah. And your father, how did he like it?
He loved it. He loved it really. He said, "You saved the family."
Yes.
Yes.
That's very nice, because actually my next question would have been something like, do you think this kind of film can help, like be a sort of exorcism, to go through this problem or discuss it or bring it up, or
It helped him. At
Yeah,
least
that's good.
it helped him, and he feel very proud, and he feel very happy about it, and he love it. And in festival, I was very stressed when he watched it for the first time, and he took me in his arm and he gave to me a huge hug, like a very big hug, and he never does this.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he told me after the evening I came back home, and he texted me and he said, "You saved the family, now it's okay." So I don't know if if I saved the family, but at least he feel released from something.
that's very nice to
Yeah,
hear. Yes.
yeah, that's very nice to hear.
Yeah. And I don't know if your grandfather is alive or not.
No, yes, he's alive. Sorry, but he never watched the movie,
Okay, that was.
and I don't know if he will. In my head, I was like, I don't want to share any link of the movie because I don't want him to watch it.
But he knows that this film exists. Okay.
Yes, he knows, and he tried to contact me.
Okay.
Yeah, since I finished the movie, because maybe he's like, oh, suddenly she's interesting, or I don't know. But no, I don't want him to watch it because he's old and he did things and it's done, and I don't want him to. I mean, I didn't make the movie to create any
reaction.
Or any pain to some people. So I'm like, bah, I'm not agree with what you did, and he knows that. And after, if he wants us to talk about it, we can. But I don't want like to create a pain.
Yeah. I mean, it is a very personal story.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it also talks about the surname. You know, it's very like there's your name.
Mm-hmm.
And were you thinking since the beginning to have it like this, or did you consider for a second to maybe detach yourself from it, give some fictional names, or did you just thought no, it's
No, I never
it's
thought
it.
about doing a fictional. No, it was because also there is like the family name Dermangian, and that turns out to be Dermange. I think it has never been an option.
Yeah.
For the next one, I have also a role inside it, and I'm thinking about making my character, because it's totally a character, but it's me. Another name, and to detach a little bit, because it's part of me, but it's not totally me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for this movie, I didn't put a lot of me inside this
Yeah.
movie, inside Armat. There is not a lot of me. It's
Yeah,
my
you are
family.
interviewing the others.
Yes, yeah. And I'm just like, I'm just the interviewer. That's it. Mm.
Yeah.
No, I think it has to be my family name and my story.
Yeah.
It was like this.
I think it's brave, and it's also more authentic, right? Yeah.
And that's good to hear, because I was like, maybe it's a little bit narcissistic or something.
No. It's also, I think it's also very interesting. Of course, it's a story of a family and their relationships, but it's also interesting to see all the, the migration story and
Yes.
this kind of background. It's also very,
Yeah, totally.
very interesting, and also the anecdote with the surname changing. This. It's important, and it wouldn't have worked with a fictional name.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And I never get that much feedback, personal feedback from the audience. It's crazy. So many people come to me and share to me like some huge family stories,
Yeah.
super personal. And I'm like, each time I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I made a movie talking about my family,
Yeah.
and it resonates to so many people. It's crazy.
Is this feedback mainly from the migration part, or is it the family dynamics part, or?
Family dynamics parts. Yeah,
Yeah.
about family most of the time, and migration
Yeah.
too. Yeah, but more, migration and both. Actually, totally
Okay.
both. But family all the time.
Okay.
Like even if it's migration, it's family migration.
Well, I wish we had more time to talk about all the, the graphic and the technique, because I think it's very, very special. I really like that. And also,
thank you.
actually, I also wanted to ask you a little bit about the circus, because I'm such a big circus fan, and about your next project. So I don't know. I think for the
Okay.
next film we will do another episode, maybe.
Wait, will be the next film? It's in 10 years or something like
But
that.
the last
huh?
question I ask you is about
Yeah.
the onions.
The onions, okay.
Yes, if you like onions, and how do you like onions?
I love onions, but sadly I have a problem with my intestine.
Yeah.
And I can't eat onions anymore. And I had to here in Fantoche, because they give to us the food,
Yes.
and I feel so bad right now about it.
I know. I remember we had the same app.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's true. Garlic and onion.
Garlic and onion. I
That's
feel
not good.
so bad. I have so much pain.
It's difficult to avoid them. because
It's so
they're
difficult.
everywhere.
But they are so good. But now I want like to stop onions and garlic for again a few months, because.
Yeah,
So yeah, I love onion, but
from afar.
from far at the moment.
Okay. Well, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Giulia. We keep in touch.
Oh yeah.
We. And maybe.
I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, and that you had or will have the chance to watch this beautiful piece of animation, which, by the way, was nominated Best Animation Film in January 2024 at the Solothurner Filmtage Film Festival. To keep an eye on Élodie's work, you can check the links in the show notes. I will also share on my social media newsletter interesting behind the scenes and links, and of course, as usual, I will follow up once this film is finally released online. Thanks for joining. That is it for today, and until next time with another director and a short animated film. Ciao!